Tonight's topic is Leviticus and the godless stuff, you know, all God's laws. There's a lot of people who like to go and say gay people get married. They shouldn't be allowed to have sex because man shouldn't lie with man as a woman. Leviticus is so full of so many laws. None of you, nobody follows all these laws. It's fucking pointless. For example, if you ever had a steak or a pork chop and you've eaten the fat from the pork chop, you're breaking Leviticus number 317. You're not supposed to eat fat. And since fat is in everything we eat, you might as well fucking starve your ass to death. Eating blood, 317. All you Catholics out there who go to the church and you're drinking the blood, eating and drinking is the same activity. So, hey, you know what? You're fucked. And there is a slew of other ones. You ever gone to work and your hair's a little bit of a mess? Well, you're that one there is letting your hair become unkempt. Number 10-6. I guess we got to have a comb over everywhere we go. So I'm not going to. Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump's got it made. There is so many. There's over 70 laws, 76 laws in Leviticus alone. Just in Leviticus alone. If you say, oh, well, we don't have to follow all these laws. You can't pick and choose. You cannot pick and choose. I'm sorry, you just can't. Because in Matthew 5:17, this is supposed to be Jesus speaking now. He says, do not think I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. So anybody that says that they can pick and choose which one of Leviticus that they can follow, and I've had this conversation, tell them Matthew 5:17. And tell them that they have to follow all those laws. If they're going to hate on gays, especially those ones that hate on gays, if they're going to hate on gays, they cannot eat fat, they can't eat they can't eat clothing. They can't wear clothing of mixed blends, so they are basically screwed. Then they don't even realize it. So you can't pick and choose. So you are so screwed.
It's funny that you mentioned Matthew 5:17 because we were just talking about that in the chat room.
Yeah.
And then Dawkins added Luke 16:17. It says all of the OT laws stand until the end of the earth and heaven.
Yes, and there you go, Luke 16:17. So yeah, so you can't get out of it. So anyway, before I use up all our time here, let's start the timer on this, and we'll start the discussion now. Crystal, you go first this time.
I go first all the time. What
you
talking about?
No, Joe's been going first. You go first this time.
Well, I mean, you're going to call it cherry picking, and I'm going to call it. I think it's really kind of hilarious myself. I think that actually that the Old Testament in newer times today, in the more modern progressive churches, is not looked upon as that or even study this stuff. Some of this stuff, the first time I have seen it has been when you guys have brought it up, and then I would go back and look it up, and I'm like, well, I'll be damn, that is in there.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm more the exception than I am the rule, and I have a tendency to agree more with you than I disagree with you.
Oh, that's good.
I know what my faith is, my personal belief is, and I will eat a steak. And if I'm going to cut my hair, I'll cut my hair or I'll braid my hair.
Right.
I do not follow that, and I don't consider the Bible to be the per se handbook that I need to follow to be a Christian. Yeah. So actually, I giggle at some of this stuff, and again, the Bible was written by so many people, and I could have thrown in my take on the Bible had I been writing, the chapter in the book. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt, and really, I think I like New Testament stuff really better. And if you want to call that kind of cherry picking, I guess that I'm guilty of that. But at the same time, I just go by my own personal belief, and I would never.
There's also some other parts in here that I found was really interesting. They have on here that says you can't have sex with your granddaughter, you can't have sex with your half sister, your biological aunt, your uncle's wife, your daughter-in-law, or your sister-in-law, but it doesn't say anything about having sex with your daughter. So there's no laws against that apparently. So,
people in West Virginia are just screwed.
Yes. Exactly. And the thing is, there are some more other ones. Oh, there it is. Number 39, having sex with a man as one does with a woman. So, yeah. The Leviticus is really fucked up. Go ahead, Joe. Your thoughts.
Yeah, Packard, you sent us some great links on this, and there was one in here that I hadn't heard before. It's against Leviticus to play football.
Yes.
And according to the link you sent me, at least in the pure version of football where you play with a pigskin, the modern synthetic footballs are ugly, slippery anyways. Leviticus 11:8, which is discussing pigs, reads, "You shall not eat of their flesh nor touch their carcasses. They are unclean to you."
Yes.
So you are doubly breaking that if you wake up, eat some sausage, and throw around the old pigskin.
Yes.
which is hilarious. I mean, football is against the Bible. One of my favorites, personal favorites that I bring up a lot, is the tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Leviticus 19:28, "You shall not make any cuts in your body for the dead, nor make any tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord."
Right.
It is God's law. You cannot have a tattoo.
Right.
And you can't make marks in your skin for the dead.
Right.
So it's doubly funny whenever you do a quick Google search and you look for all the Jesus tattoos.
Yeah, or people who, and I knew somebody who did this. This guy's father died, and he put his father on his skin. I mean, he is in a tattoo. So, and basically, he just right there. He says, cuts in your body for the dead, and that's basically what he was doing. Even though he was honoring his father who died, it says right there in the Bible, you're not supposed to do that.
It's very popular to get tattoos for dead relatives.
Yes, it is, and we're not just talking. Let's just jump out of Leviticus just for a moment.
I've got a Deuteronomy one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Give us the Deuteronomy one then.
One of the links that you didn't send me was the all-time classic website, GodHatesShrimp.com.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put that one in there. Yes.
And in Leviticus 11:9-12, it tells you that you shouldn't eat anything from the sea that doesn't have fins and scales, which means anything that's a crustacean, a shellfish, a shrimp, a crab, lobster.
Right.
You can't eat that. That's an abomination. Deuteronomy backs it up. Deuteronomy 14:9-10 says, "These ye shall eat of all that are of the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat, and whatsoever hath not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean to you."
Yep.
And I only recently, visiting this website again tonight, realized that God Hates Shrimp also has a Facebook page, and I recently joined it, and I'm really happy about that.
I'll have to join them. Also, let's say you're a guy. And
okay,
if you are,
let's say I'm a guy.
Let's say you're a guy, Joe. Let's say you're a guy out there that has gone through some kind of cancer and you've lost a testicle. You're not allowed to go back to church.
Yeah,
that was new to me. That was what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It says here specifically in Deuteronomy 23:1 reads, this is God's word translation. It spells it out better. A man whose testicles are crushed or whose penis is cut off may never join the assembly of the Lord. So, yeah, and divorce. You're not allowed to get divorced either, in other circumstances.
And if you do happen to have both of your testicles, you're not allowed to drink alcohol in holy places.
Right. Which the Catholics are fucked there, too, because they're drinking wine.
The Catholics and any other denomination that drinks wine in ceremonies. And that's Leviticus 10:9.
All right. And wearing gold. If you've worn gold, you're breaking God's law. It says in 1 Timothy 2:9, does not like gold necklaces at all, or your pearl necklace, or any clothes that you wear that you get from like Forever 21, Old Navy, or H&M. Likewise, I want women to adorn themselves with proper clothing, modesty, and discreetly, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly garments. So you ladies out there who are into the bling, and I hate that word, guess what? And if you're really churchy, you're breaking your 1 Timothy 2:9.
Braided hair. So as churchy as Laura Ingalls was, she's burning in hell right now.
Yes, she is. Oh yeah, according to their beliefs and their religion, they're burning in hell because they wore gold and they braided their hair. And that's,
Little House in a Pit of Fire.
That's right. And that's our time.
You got buzzed.
Actually, I buzzed myself on that one. So.
Yay!
But yeah, so basically, people, if you're out there and you follow these, you think you're following your God's laws, you ain't following jack shit. Unless you actually do this, and there is no way anybody can follow any of these crazy fucking rules. So eat lobster, eat shrimp if you can. You know, some people are allergic to it. In the cases, don't eat it. If you want to wear gold, go for it, buddy boy. If you want to wear pearls, fine. Go ahead. I have no problem with that. You want to get divorced? Go ahead. You want to go to church with no testicles? That's your business too. You know,
yeah, we should try that sometime.
Yeah. That one really threw me for a loop. I'm gonna be honest with you. That just floored me. You
know what's really interesting about that is that a person that doesn't have testicles or penis is a woman. So technically, in a roundabout fashion, they're banning women from going to church.
You know what's crazy is back in the day, I learned this in music class. They used to remove the testicles of young boys so that they could sing in Catholic church choirs. They called them eunuchs.
Oh, you've heard of that.
They were part of like the seminary or whatever. They lived with the monks, and they would go into church and sing in their high-pitched voices. And they had no testicles, so their voices were like a woman's voice.
Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah,
and it's against the Bible.
And it's against the Bible.